The calm before the storm. As the tumultuous floodwaters receded, James, the resolute CEO, found himself on the edge of an emotional precipice. In a moment of life or death decision, he had dived into the raging current to save Diep, the woman who had become his world. Miraculously, both were rescued, but the storm was far from over. Diep, still physically fragile, was slowly mending under the unwavering care of James. They found solace in the love of family, particularly James' mother, who, though miles away, wept with joy upon hearing their voices. However, the shadows loomed large as John, an old enemy, resurfaced. His malevolent presence was no coincidence. John had been lurking in the darkness, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Behind him stood a secretive and dangerous force, a deep-rooted vendetta against James's family. Their aim was not only to tear James and Diep apart but to dismantle his empire piece by piece. Deep down, Diep knew that while their personal storm might have passed, the battle was far from over. The reluctant separation. In a move born of love and necessity, James made the painful decision to send Diep to the safety of a trusted uncle in the suburbs. The night they parted, James held her hand tightly and whispered words that would echo in her heart forever. "I can't be with you every second, but I won't let you face anything alone." "No matter where you are, just call, and I'll come." Diep, her eyes brimming with tears, nodded, knowing that her safety had become the battleground in a war that neither of them had chosen. What James didn't know yet, though, was that John had already discovered her new hiding place. The hunt had begun, and Diep's every step was being watched. Finding refuge in the unexpected. As danger loomed closer, James sought refuge for Diep with an unlikely ally, an elderly couple, parents of a notorious former crime boss. Their bond with James had been formed years ago when he had helped them clear their name in a complex legal battle. This deep respect was built not on obligation, but on shared humanity. At the couple's home, the elderly man spoke with unshakable conviction. "Anyone who belongs to James also belongs to this family." "You can stay here without worry. If anyone dares to lay a hand on you, they'll have to step over my dead body first." For Diep, whose life had been nothing but scheming and betrayal, this gesture of pure kindness was both unexpected and deeply moving. The struggles within. James's business was crumbling. Malicious rumors began to spread like wildfire. His company, a leader in raw timber export and high-end furniture manufacturing, was facing a crisis, an unprecedented storm that threatened to wipe out everything James had built. John's latest strategy wasn't just personal, it was an attack on James's empire. The rumors about the company's impending bankruptcy had far-reaching consequences. Suppliers began pulling out, prices skyrocketed, and investor confidence plummeted. Yet, amid all the chaos, there was still a quiet space in James's heart reserved for Diep and the small house that once symbolized peace. Late one afternoon, he visited the house, an aging structure nestled in a narrow alley, the site of countless shared moments. As James cleaned the yard, he was reminded of the simplicity and sincerity that had once existed there. His life, once defined by boardrooms and business deals, had transformed into something more. This was about love, about a woman who had come to mean everything to him. The battle for Diep. While James worked tirelessly to repair his company, a plan far more sinister was unfolding. John, hiding in the shadows, had found Diep again. The woman he once loved, and lost, was now his target. John's mind burned with vengeance, and he would stop at nothing to tear James down. He knew that James's greatest weakness was his love for Diep. This time, John wasn't in a hurry. He would wait for the right moment to strike. Diep, oblivious to the danger that still followed her, found peace in the simplicity of rural life. She resumed her daily tasks, feeling healthier and stronger with each passing day. But like a cruel twist of fate, her return to normalcy was short-lived. A man, one of John's trusted henchmen, had found her again. He quietly observed as Diep sold watermelons at the local market, unaware of the eyes tracking her every move. John was close now, and he was ready to strike when the time was right. The ultimate confrontation. John's vengeance had taken root. The damage to James's business was only the beginning. The old family feud, buried under years of animosity, was coming to the surface. John, once a man humiliated by James's family, now stood poised to take everything from him. The battle was no longer about business, it was personal. As John prepared to strike, he knew that once he found Diep, the final piece of the puzzle would fall into place. Love and loss. Diep, though living in fear, had come to realize that the life she had once dreamed of had already been stolen from her. Yet, despite the mounting pressure, her love for James remained unwavering. She was a woman who had once thought she would never find peace, but now, in the quiet moments of her life, she found strength. She was not just a victim of circumstances, she was a woman who could rise above them. James, on the other hand, was ready to fight for everything that mattered: his love, his family, and his empire. The battle he faced was not just against John, but against the very forces that sought to destroy the foundation of his life. Would his love for Diep be enough to overcome the ruthless schemes that threatened to tear them apart? Conclusion. As the game of cat and mouse continues, James and Diep must navigate the treacherous waters of love, betrayal, and revenge. Will their bond survive the storm? Can James restore his empire and protect the woman he loves? The battle is far from over, and with John closing in, every moment counts. The only question now is, who will emerge victorious?